Hello guys, welcome back. Today I have a fun video for you. I'm going to be testing original products versus knockoff products and seeing if they're actually like good products because you know, price difference is going to be pretty extreme. Let's just go straight into it. It's going to be interesting. Alright, so for the first item, I have a knockoff Apple Watch. We all know Apple is pretty official and it's really hard to knock off their products. I feel like nobody's actually quite gotten it right. I mean, the box looks pretty official. It doesn't look like an Apple Watch box. They definitely might still be going for like the smartwatch aspect of it. So I'm not sure if it has like texting capabilities like the Apple Watch does. Oh wait, yes it does. Call alert, SMS alert, and heart rate monitor. So if it actually does all that stuff, I'd say it's pretty good too. Oh, you're not gonna lie, it actually kind of looks like an Apple Watch. Like from far away, it looks like the screen, so like here's the screen here, but the actual screen is only like, is like a lot smaller. It does have the heart rate monitor on the back like the Apple Watch does. It has music controller, relax heart rate, sport, alarm, timer, and sports record. So all of those are applications on the Apple Watch as well, but the Apple Watch does have capabilities to put other apps on there, and you can actually like text back and call people from the Apple Watch, which I'm not positive if this one does. It also does look like you have to download a separate app for this particular brand, kind of like you would have to with Fitbit, and then everything is hosted in that app, kind of where Apple's already, everything's kind of synced back and forth from your iPhone already. It looks pretty solid, like it looks like an Apple Watch, and at least most of the capabilities are there. I'm going to have to check on the texting back and the calling back from the Apple Watch. But if you don't really care about that, I'm not sure that that would be like a deal breaker for the price difference. So, to turn it on, it looks like the same thing. The button is in the middle, whereas the Apple Watch button is more on the top, and it has also this power button right here. How do I go to the home screen? This is so different than the Apple Watch. I don't know how to work it. All I'm seeing that it has is tracking and messaging. As far as a smartwatch, this might be fine. It seems like it has about the capabilities that a Fitbit does when you're comparing it to the Apple Watch, and if you're trying to make it a knockoff of the Apple Watch, I would say, first what I'm seeing, it's not doing a super great job. But we'll keep testing it and we'll see if it does surprise me somehow. Alright, so today I'm going to be testing the knockoff Apple Watch. So I just connected it to my phone. Like the app itself is a little bit weird because this watch, like it's called like the sleep watch, or smartwatch, not sleepwatch, but it doesn't like really say anything about like I would expect the app to be called like smartwatch, kind of like Fitbit is or something like that, but it's on like another app called Very Fit Pro, and so I'm not sure if it's like the app is just working with this watch company or if this is actually the watch company's app. Not positive, but like the syncing process was, it was fine, but it's not just like not as high tech as like a Fitbit or the Apple Watch are. Yeah, that's kind of my first impressions. When I do open the app though, it does look like it tracks sleep, heart rate, and activity. Yeah, those are kind of my first impressions when putting on the Apple Watch, the knockoff Apple Watch. But I'm going to be wearing it today to see what I think. Alright, so I've been wearing the knockoff Apple Watch all day. I've actually been wearing both of them just to compare. I've done the same stuff for both of them. Obviously, they're both just on my wrist. And I just checked the Very Fit Pro app, which is the app for the knockoff, and there's just not much to it. I guess that's what I would say. It's very simple. It gives you all your information, but you can't really click on anything. It's not very detailed. And I did like compare that to the Apple Watch, where you do have a lot of information there. You can click on it. You can go throughout the day and like track your heart rate at 8 a.m. I mean, it's really, really thorough. And the activity is still, I mean, all of it has like more, I don't even know how to describe it really. There's just more detail to the Apple Watch, just a lot more information. It's a lot more interactive, I guess is what you could say. If you're looking for like a really good activity tracker, I would honestly go with the Apple Watch just because there's just so much more detail. Yeah, it just tracks so much better. So my mom was telling me that Golden Goose shoes come looking dirty, but I'm not sure if that's correct with this pair of shoes, type of their shoes, because these look pretty clean. So they're just white, have a little silver on the back, a little sparkly, and yeah, I mean, they feel like nice, solid shoes. So I would say that these are probably worth their money. This is the bag. Alright, so I actually went ahead and ordered 2 different knockoffs. These are both from Shein, but they look a little bit different, so I'm going to be kind of analyzing to see if you can tell the difference and what the major differences are. Now that I'm looking at it, this is the first pair of Golden Gooses I've seen that don't come like dirty already, and I think it's because it's saying right here that it's GGDB, which is I think the brand name, but it says pure. So this is probably like a certain type of shoe or like a cool version, I don't know, where it's actually clean, which will probably be different in the knockoffs because I think these are supposed to be coming dirty like most Golden Gooses do. Here's our first pair. So for sure these Golden Gooses do come dirty. I have seen other Golden Gooses, these look blatantly dirty. The other ones are just a little more scuffed up, I would say. It doesn't have the brand name right here. Also the star is different. If you can see, it's actually touching on both ends right here, and it is not touching on this side. So I'm not sure if that's how you tell the difference. The leather does feel different though. Like this leather feels like nicer leather, like it would stand up longer, probably against like leather or mud or something like that. This definitely feels like knockoff leather. I'm not like a Golden Goose fanatic, so I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference if somebody wore those. Except for on the back, it does have his name, and I don't think that has to do with Golden Goose. So maybe if you saw that, then you'd be like, oh, okay, probably not. Now for the other pair. So this other pair that is also from Shein, the exact same style, the exact same product as these. They pretty much look the same, except for I would say that these are significantly less dirty. Honestly though, like if somebody's shoes were dirty or dirtier, I would be like, oh, those aren't Golden Goose shoes. Like, cause shoes get dirty anyways. So just to note, the only reason I do have 2 of the knockoffs is because of a shipping issue, but I do think it's interesting to see that they don't come identical. Just because that's how the Golden Goose shoes are though, it's like everyone is different as far as the scuff marks and how dirty they are. So the knockoffs do play into that as well. Again, I mean, it's a pretty good aspect of the Golden Goose to try to hit on the knockoffs. Let's go try to test them and see if I can tell any other differences in the comfort and the wear. This morning, I want to test the Golden Goose shoes in action and see if there's a big difference when actually wearing them. So, this is the knockoff. Let's get started. Alright, initial reactions. Honestly, like the knockoff ones are more comfortable, but that could be because the leather is like softer. Obviously the Golden Goose shoes are like brand new, the actual ones, and you probably have to break in the leather. Like I know like a lot of shoes aren't comfortable the first time you wear them. I would say the knockoff is actually more comfortable than the Golden Goose, but it does feel, I mean there's a big difference when you feel them. They also look really different on, not gonna lie. I could see, like now walking around a little bit, I could see how the actual Golden Goose shoes just like need to be broken in. Like that's what it feels like. But I'll show you guys what I'm seeing. These are the shoes. On. Walking around a little bit. Alright, so I've pretty much been walking around in them for like 10 minutes, just kind of around the room. Somebody's opening the garage. The knockoffs are initially definitely more comfortable, but they do feel like a cheaper shoe. Like they don't feel like they're gonna hold up in like much weather or water or anything like that. Whereas the Golden Goose do feel more sturdy and like they actually will hold up. But they aren't as comfortable when you first put them on. They do feel like a stiffer shoe, but again, that's probably because the leather is thicker and it needs more time to break in. Just as I've been walking around in them for 10 minutes, like it's already better. I think I would go, if you're going to buy Golden Goose shoes, you probably should go for the real one because the knockoffs weren't quite right, color-wise, fit-wise, everything, so. Alright, so in my hands I have a knockoff AirPod Pro. If I can get through this packaging, the box looks very legit. So I don't know if the box is stolen or if somebody did a really good recreation job, but if the inside is as good as the outside is, then I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised. I don't remember what the original box looked like, so maybe if somebody can find a video we can compare. It looks like the same instructions. It's like the same as the actual AirPods. So it does come with the charger as well as the ear tip changing different size things. So the wrapping on this does look like somebody took it off another pair of AirPods and put it onto this one. Like it kind of looks already used. I mean, It looks pretty legit. I can tell, the only thing I can tell is different is this dot on the knockoff one is like black. Like it looks like a hole, whereas this one looks like it has like it's like gray and it's actually on the outside of the case, like there's not a hole. And on the back of the actual ones, it says designed by Apple in California, assembled in China, and there's nothing on the back of this one. But again, from far away, you cannot tell which one is mine and which one isn't mine. Do they connect to my phone the same way that the actual AirPods do? Yeah, wait. Yeah, they do. AirPods Pro not connected to the side connect. It's having me set up like it normally does. It's the same thing. It's saying the same thing. Hello? Yep, I'm in transparency. Hello? Yep, I'm in noise canceling. It does, I think it takes a little bit longer than on those. The functions totally connect to my iPhone. Like, you know, like the control center, you can change the volume, you can do it from here. Like the fit in my ears is a little bit different. It's like the plastic piece is like different. It's a little bit less comfortable, but I don't really think you'd notice. It looks like the mic on the, like, you know how there's the inner ear mic that's listening to what you're listening to, so it's like adjusting thing. It doesn't look like this one has one. It looks like they tried to make the illusion that they do, but I don't see a microphone, I see like a black strip, which could be the difference. It sounds the same, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it actually sounds pretty good. Which one's the left one? Wait. Not good. Okay, here's the fake, this is the real. So the shape does look the slightest bit different, but you wouldn't be able to tell. This one's more of an oval. That's like the only way I can describe it. This one's more circular. For the price difference, I'd say it's a really solid knockoff. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It works well, it sounds fine. I mean, I'll test it a little bit more, but as far as what I'm seeing right now, I am very surprised. AirPods? I literally keep getting confused on whether or not they're actually mine or if they're the knockoffs. Like, I am very impressed. I do have to say. They work just like normal AirPods, so if you're looking for a cheaper option, it's definitely a good way to go because literally they're like identical. I haven't really noticed anything. I mean, I've been using them and the battery life is pretty much the same. I just don't know. I don't know where they got these. That's the thing. If you're looking for some AirPods that are cheaper than AirPods, go with these because they're really good. Not gonna lie. All right, so all in all with all these knockoffs, I am very impressed, with the AirPods. I didn't film much testing of them because I felt like it wasn't interesting for me to just sit there with like AirPods in my ears, but literally I couldn't find like a very major difference, especially for the price. Like the little things, like the light being a little bit different or not saying made in Apple or whatever, I would take that for whatever the price difference was. It was really, I mean, I was really impressed with the AirPods. The watch, not quite there as a knockoff for an Apple Watch. It's a good watch for just activity tracking in general, but as a knockoff of the Apple Watch, not positive. And the Golden Gooses, I still think they were good shoes, but they probably weren't as high quality as Golden Gooses were, and I don't think they'd hold up over time. So that's kind of my thoughts at the end of all this. But it was super fun to test these knockoffs. Not gonna lie, like I would actually buy some of these. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next week. Bye guys.